Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Today's the day. Come on. It's gonna happen. I can feel it. Come on, baby. Today's the day. Come on. Come on. Come on. This is it. Come on. I know it's gonna happen. Yeah! What the heck? Oh. Here's a little clip of me having fun with the DDF-15. Gets kind of windy. Welcome back to the Righteous Builds YouTube channel. Yeah, it's been a while, but I've got a very cool build that I'm just getting started on. Let me show you the star of the show, and then we'll cut up some plywood and we will get this thing on the road. What you see before you, here's the Pierce Audio 4,000 watt neodymium 4K home theater subwoofer. Now this thing is really cool. This is about their mid-level sub. They go all the way up to 12,000 watts. So if you want something that's just an absolute beast that can take anything you can throw at it, go over to Pierce Audio's website, have a look and see what they can do. They can even make a 33-inch subwoofer for you. Let me pull this out and we'll have a look. All right, I've got this driver set up on the CNC table. Now, right now, my CNC is just a glorified workbench because it doesn't have the spoil board on there yet. There's a few things to do before I get this thing up and running, but she's almost ready. Anyway, in typical Pierce Audio fashion, everything is very much over-engineered. You got these really beefy neodymium magnets. Everything is just tough. That's the only way I can put it. It is tough. And you've got this Kevlar reinforced cone material. We've got an 8-inch carbon dust cap. Makes for a very cool looking driver. And I don't think we'll be able to blow this thing up if we tried. Not that we're going to, but again, very cool looking. Here we have the other star of the show, the 4,000 watt speaker power SP1 4000 HT. Now the amp's kind of the unsung hero of the show, but look at this quality. We've got these great big capacitors, all of the toroidal coils. I hope I'm saying that right. But wow, you can pick these up over at gsgaudio.com. If you haven't been over to GSG Audio Design and seen what they've been up to lately, they have so many cool things going on. But check out their stuff. They've got so many cool things that are subwoofer related. You can build a subwoofer that's bigger than you ever thought possible with the stuff over on GSG Audio Design. So check those out too. All right, this is going to be a pretty fancy subwoofer, I decided. So let's get cutting some wood, shall we? It's going to be a big box for an 18-inch driver.
Stations coming raving, attention everyone, all the kids of the nation. Kids today need some education, church and love, not medication. Watch out for the fakes and snakes and hairy little wolves dressed in no cheap drapes. And get the petition, it's the television. That's why you don't go down to the river. Mother tells you that it's dangerous. She says never let me catch you
And with that, our first hole is cut. All I feel like doing right now is making some more holes. Let's do it. And the holes are all cut. I'm going to take a second and test fit this thing. And yes, I'm wearing socks. I often do. It's one of those weird things about me. I guess everybody has their weird things. That's mine. Let's test fit this thing, shall we? Moment of truth. Perfect. That's always the thing I wonder about, is if I cut that circle the right size. It is perfect. Okay, on with the build. Well, to tell you the truth, it's late. I'm actually going to bed, but tomorrow, on with the build. I've got this from a previous build that I found in the scrap pile. So I'm going to use it because it's already the right size, and I can just cut it up, clean it up, and put it on. Let's make it happen.
Go down by the river, by the river. Don't you go down by the river, by the river. Don't you go down by the river. Don't you go down by the river.
As you can see, that router bit throws dust everywhere. So, good thing for dust mask. Okay, we're all done for that. With that, it's almost time for epoxy. But first, let's do some router work, shall we? Much better. Okay, let's turn this thing black. And then, maybe, we'll get to epoxy soon. As you can see, I'm putting a very super thin dry layer of India ink on this. And I kind of like the way it's turning out. You can see the wood grain. Now I'm going to continue. I'm going to make the whole thing black. So it's going to work out really nice. But this is looking very nice. And when it's all covered with the tabletop epoxy, this is going to look so cool. Let's keep going. All done. I'm going to let this dry overnight. Tomorrow we start epoxy. And of course this edges will be cut off, so I'm not worried about that. But looking good. Alright, I've got this laying on the CNC table because the CNC table can be leveled. And I've got some epoxy phobic material just in case things start to weep out the side of that plywood, and they certainly will. So I'm kind of expecting that. And if it does, then I'll just take whatever actions necessary to make sure that we can stop it. I've stopped it in the past, and I'll probably have to stop it again. Let's get some epoxy mixed. That already looks really cool. If it dries like that, I would be a happy man. But I'm going to mix it just a little bit more. We're going to dump it in and see how it goes. Here's where we're at so far. Like I said, I didn't want it to be an in-your-face silver, but this is just about perfect. Just about where I want to be. I'll do some more mixing and maybe put a few more highlights in there. But yeah, that's where I want to be. This is really nice. Then we'll put a nice high gloss finish over the whole thing. Gonna be beautiful. Just pouring the gold right now. Just thought I'd get a little bit of this on camera. We do just a little bit of a pour here. Now the gold stands out a little bit more than I thought it would be when compared to the silver. So what I've been doing is I'm sprinkling some white pearl in there just to kind of mix it up and make it stand out a little bit more. And I think I'm getting about the effect that I want. So I'm just going to keep on doing that, maybe brighten it up a little bit. You can see that this one's now brighter than this one. So I'm going to do the same thing over here and maybe even a little bit around the edges just to brighten up the effect around there. So that's what I'm working on right now. Okay, I think I've succeeded in glitzing this up a little bit. Now I was trying not to have to sand this wooden surface, but because of the mixing that I had to do after the fact, because it looked boring, I basically had to go through and add more powder here after it was poured, which is not recommended. But yeah, it's kind of all up over the edges and everything. So I'm probably going to have to sand that. But we're a little over 24 hours in. Epoxy's looking pretty good. Pretty fancy on those panels here. All right, I'm going to let this dry for a few days. Maybe I'll watch it, maybe mix it a few more times, and go from there. Obviously, I have introduced a lot of bubbles because of the mixing. Those are going to be torched out, so don't worry too much about those. They will all be gone very soon. Okay, it has been 1 week. It is time to start sanding. That actually turned out pretty nice. It's been a very slow process, but we're moving along all right. I've got the day off. Let's get some work done. Here's a little math trick for you. If you happen to have a circle, the circle already exists, but you don't know where the center is, it turns out that if you take the perpendicular bisector of any two chords, they will meet at the center of the circle. So I'm going to have to do that right now because I have to use a circle jig, and for that I need to find the center of this circle. So let's do it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the center of our circle is right there. Right where the two chords, well, right where the perpendicular bisectors of the two chords meet. All right, let's make a hole, shall we? All right, I've got this all glued and clamped. While I'm waiting for that to dry, it's time for speaker covers. So I'm going to take this, grab the plunge router, and insert some magnets. And then we'll also make the actual cover part that goes over this. Let's make it happen. And just like that, we've got a nice chunky speaker cover. It's still going to lose a little bit more weight as I grind and sand on it, but that's about what it's going to be. Now this is sandwood. It is extremely lightweight. It's really nice for speaker covers. I certainly wouldn't build anything that has to be strong out of it, but it's the perfect wood for speaker covers, and it's pretty cheap too. You can find it at Home Depot. All right, the plunge router has done its job. I'm just going to take some magnets, make sure they're all facing the right way. Just drop 2 in each hole. And then I'll take some epoxy and there we go. Take some epoxy, mix it, let it settle in over them. Of course, I'm going to make sure that they're all facing the same way first, and then let it dry. Just did the recalculations. We are setting at 17.69 cubic feet. Kind of a big box. Anyway, let's glue it and make it into a box. By the way, I don't know if I've ever mentioned it, but I'm sponsored by Mustard. You guys know this? As long as I keep buying their product, they give me free glue bottles for life. Thanks, Mustard. Just mocking up some of the ports here. This is going to work perfect. What's going to happen is it's going to load off of this corner. The distance worked out just right. I think we're looking at about, I'll measure it for sure, but we're looking at about 56-ish inches of port, 17.6 cubic inches of enclosure volume. Wow. So my buyer says that she needs accurate bass all the way down to 6 hertz and below. So I think this can deliver it. I think this can deliver it. The 24-inch that I built a few videos ago, here, we'll let that settle down for a minute. The 24-inch sub that I built just a few videos ago measured all the way down to 3 hertz at 90 decibels. And I think we can match that with an 18-inch driver. Should work out just fine. So, very cool project. I'm really excited to see how it does. Let's just keep building. We are getting toward the end of this first installment of this build, but I just had to show you one shot of this beautiful Pierce Audio 18-inch 4,000 watt driver sitting in its eventual home. Wow. I'm still going to be doing a few little things to it before we wrap it up for this time, but we're getting close. It's the next day. As you can see, the tools are out in force. It's time to do some port work. Well, the battery ran down. I'm not sure quite at which point it died, but here's where we're at. Now, as you can see, I put a lot of this stuff on so that it's nice and secure, especially around points that need to seal, so that there's no question as to whether it is sealed or not. Also, you're probably wondering, with these vast expanses of wood, am I going to do any bracing? Of course I am. Yeah, that's a lot of real estate. I'm not going to leave that unbraced. So you will see the bracing go in, but I want to get the ports in first so that I know exactly where I can and cannot brace. Ladies and gentlemen, we have ports. All right, you can tell. I don't know if you can see. It's a little smoky in the garage. It's because I just got done machining these things, and that particular router bit kicks up a lot of smoke. So there we go. Now, some of you might be asking, as deep as this thing is there a law of diminishing returns? And yes, there is, but it doesn't come in the way that you think. Now, it doesn't necessarily reduce output to go too big on your box. What happens is you start to lose cone control. So you're going to see a little bit more distortion, and you could damage your driver. Luckily, we've got a Pierce Audio 4K, so it's going to take a lot, probably more than our amp can dish out, to damage this thing. So we have a driver that can handle it. The buyer doesn't necessarily need 140 dB. She needs super deep, very low accurate bass. And that's what this big box is designed to do. It's designed to get stronger and stronger as the frequencies get lower and lower. And so that's what we're doing here. Another thing that you'll see with this great big box and these super long ports is we're going to see a bump on the low end. And I'm sure that you'll see that when we do our REW testing. But it's going to have nice wide bandwidth. So in other words, it's going to have a very strong low end, but it's also going to reach all the way up to about the 100 hertz range with authority. That's my prediction. I mean, you never can really tell for sure until you build it and get it all designed and finished and do the testing. But that's my prediction on this thing. But these 56 inches of port. I mean, it's not the longest port I've ever done, but it's a long port. So, long port, big box. We're going to see some very strong, super low frequencies out of this thing. Is it going to be the most musical? Actually, we'll do really good on music, but she needs it. She needs to have super strong infrasonics out of this thing, and that's what I'm building for her. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that, I'm going to cut it off because I know this memory card is going to cut me off anytime anyway. So I want to hear your predictions on what my frequency curve is going to look like. My prediction is going to have a big old bump at the bottom end. What's your prediction? Given the enclosure size, the ports, and everything. Let me know. All right, in the next episode, we're going to brace this thing like crazy. We're going to close it up. We're going to paint it, make it look it's going to be beautiful. This is going to be one of the most beautiful subs I've ever designed. That's all I can say. Well, just want to say I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Remember, if you build it and it's cool, that's a righteous build. See you later, guys. Have a great day.